Hey, buddy. Just having a little dance party. Um, I've watched your last two videos, and I have some notes, and I'm having a beer because that's how fucking classy I am these days. Yeah, PVR that my sister brought. So today's Friday. I had my girls groups today, and our project this week was to identify a female role model and then write them a letter telling them why they were important. And so I did a sample one so I could show them, and you were my role model, so I wanted to show you. It says Gina Marie, and I drew little black hearts and a ball of yarn and your green car. And then I wrote, Dear China, you are important to me because you have been a wonderful and supportive friend. You have made me laugh, held me when I cried, and cheered me on when things got tough. You inspire me to be a better woman, to further the cause of social justice, and to complete my degree. I love you, Danny. And then, so that was the one that I did, and I read it to them and showed it to them and explained, that we had matching black heart tattoos and that we both knitted and that we used to take drives in your little green car. And so then they made some, and they picked role models, and one girl picked me, which kind of melted my cold black heart a little bit. So she drew me this, says Danny, and there's black hearts. And then she put one pink heart because she said someday my heart would be pink again. And then she drew me stars, and she wrote, roses are red, violets are blue, sugar is sweet, and so are you. And then she drew me a little smiley face over here. So that kind of made my day. Yeah. So much love. So much love. So, but I wanted to share that with you. The little tape recorder thing on the We're Not Pithy podcast page is a Tumblr template, and when you do an audio posting, it automatically puts it in the heart. So if you made a mixtape and put all the songs together and then put it in one file, you could have it play in the little heart thing or in the little tape thing, but it has to be one MP3 file. So you could share, if we had that template, which we can change ours to be that template if you want. I don't care. I like that template. If we had that template, then you could put songs in there and we could share music that way. That way you could give me songs or whatever, and then I could hear them. So that's just the format that they make it look cool. So, and I liked that, and I figured for a podcast website that was the most apropos. Will Wheaton Day is not anything special. It's literally just Will Wheaton Day. It is a day to celebrate the collective works of Will Wheaton. If you go to willwheatonday.com, it explains what it is and ways to celebrate. The way that I chose to celebrate was sitting in my underwear on the internet all day and geeking out. That's how I celebrated Will Wheaton Day. And I rewatched all the episodes of The Guild that he was on, and I watched 2 of the Big Bang Theory episodes that he was on, and I watched a couple of Star Trek TNG when he was Wesley Crusher on that. So that's how I celebrated Will Wheaton Day. I didn't put pants on, and I did nothing but geek out on the internet. Sin City Knits group. Yes, I did tell Wanda that she could take it over because we weren't doing it anymore, and I didn't think we ever would be, and I was just so kind of about the whole thing at that point that I didn't give a shit. And she was going, and she had put together a whole new group, and so more power to her. So I feel like even though they're using the same name, it's not the same group. It's not you, me, and Laura. It's not, it's not what it was. So and you got your own knit group now. Pub quiz. I don't remember what night pub quiz was at Crown, but I bet on their website it says, or you could ask Brandy or Dustin because they go sometimes. But you should totally start a team. It's so much fun. I've had so much fun, and I've met people. Like, I've met new people because, like, um, I'll invite friends, and then they're like, oh, I can't really go, but so and so wanted to come, and so I'm going to send them down. So I've, like, met new people because of it on my own team, and I've met other people, and then, like, the guy who bought me a drink. And so, like, it's been really good. Like, I'm glad that I go, and it's probably my favorite part of the week, even though I'm terrible. We are terrible. Team Seahorses sucks it up every week. Um, your guilty pleasure song, I could not hear at all, so you need to tell me what it was, and I'll go listen to it. The Robert Smith song, I will force myself to go listen to. I cannot believe that you think it's the best thing he's done. Well, actually, maybe in the last 15 years. That might be true, because he's put out a lot of shit in the last 15 years. So, I will go listen to it and make a determination. We can talk about the David Sedaris book. Honestly, I don't really remember anything, so I need to look at it again, but I gave it to my sister she wanted to read it. So I think she's finished with it already, because she just kind of tore through it, but, I don't really remember anything. We do need to pick another book, though, because I need another book. I registered for classes, so I start school again on January 10th, so after that, probably the for fun read-alongs are not going to be happening, really, because I'm taking Gay and Lesbian Lifestyles, which is a sociology class, which I'm super stoked for. I'm taking urban sociology and community psychology. So pretty, I mean, all upper division, all 400 level social and psych classes again. So probably pretty heavy reading, writing intensive. So that between that and working full time, yeah, and I'm going to start doing corporate tea sales here soon. There's several restaurants that are interested in carrying our teas, and so I'm going to be the person that goes to the restaurants and works with them to develop custom blends and things like that. So, like, I'm going to be, like, super, super busy come January. A couple of things I wanted to tell you about that I feel like you need to know about. The Frenemy, FRENEMY.tumblr.com is the fucking funniest website I have ever read in my entire life. It is a 22-year-old girl who is angry and bitter and kind of an alcoholic, and I hurt her. I feel like she is my conjoined twin. I feel like we came from the same horrible, horrible pit of despair, and that we should be best frenemies. She's hilarious. Like, she makes me laugh so hard I literally have to take a break from the computer. Like, I laugh so hard I have to just walk away for a second. The episode of Glee where they introduced Kurt's love interest, I thought was really good. I didn't understand why people were bitching about it. I think they did a really good job of tackling a really, really complex problem, which it's not even about being gay, because it was both sides of, like, Kurt was handling all this shit, like, he's being bullied by this jock, this football player who keeps, like, slamming him into lockers and stuff, and finally he confronts the guy, and the guy kisses him. I know, right? Two dudes, boy dudes, kissing on network television, and, like, teenagers. It was incredible. It was awesome. I mean, not awesome because it was, like, unwanted affection and it was fucked up, but, like, it was awesome to see that explained. Like, the cause of homophobia explained. I mean, obviously that's not always the cause of homophobia, but a lot of times it is. And especially in high school when you're not quite ready to come out. So that was really cool to see that happen, and I wasn't expecting it. Evidently everybody else who was in my house watching it with me did. But I was like, oh my god. So, and then the other part of the episode was Coach Beast, which is the new football coach, is a really, like, butch-looking woman, and she's been, like, pretty heavily mocked and stuff, and the name of the episode was Never Been Kissed, and the whole thing is that Kurt had never been kissed until this guy basically smashed his face into his, which was a completely unwanted kiss, which really, it was so heartbreaking. And then this Coach Beast, who's 40 years old and not a traditionally attractive woman, had told Will Schuester that she'd never been kissed either. And the whole thing was is the kids in Glee, the boys in Glee, to kind of slow their roll when they were making out with their lady friends, were imagining her, and that would like cool things down. And um, so Shu finally told Coach that, and Coach got really upset and quit, and she was trying to talk her back into coming back, and then he ended up kissing her, and it made me cry because it was so sweet, and everybody else was like, oh, super condescending. But having kind of been that girl that nobody really wants to kiss, like, yeah, it was a pity kiss, and it is condescending, and I can't even imagine being 40 years old and never being kissed. Like, I'm 28 and can't get anybody to kiss me, so that's sad enough. But I should clarify, can't get anybody I want to kiss me. So that's the thing, like, getting kissed is whatever, that's all. I'm not even gonna complete that thought. Anyways, it touched a part of me, having been the not pretty girl before in my life, and occasionally still currently, like, it hit really close to home. So that was very sweet. And that made me cry, and I was like the only one in the room. Everybody was like, no, don't kiss her, don't kiss her. And I was like, kiss her, kiss her. So, it's also been determined that I am evidently actually a 17-year-old gay boy, because the whole time, like, that Kurt's love interest, it's this kid named Blaine, who's at an all-boys school, was singing Katy Perry's Teenage Dream, which I fucking hate Katy Perry, and I fucking hate that song. But he did a really good job, and he was dancing, and I got a little swoony, and so my sister was like, you're kind of a 17-year-old gay guy. You're not a 28-year-old straight woman. Which would explain a lot of things. I mean, a lot of things. So, my open mic kind of sucked. Nobody really came. Sarah Jo is hosting it, so she played songs, and then our friend Heather played songs, and Ezra is a, like, slam poet, and so he did a couple poems, which were fucking incredible. Like, I don't even feel that I can accurately describe them on the internet. That's how good they were. And then Heather and Sarah Jo, like, they're incredible too, but I know all their songs, so it doesn't, like, blow me away the way that hearing Ezra speak blew me away, because I've never heard him in that capacity. So that was to me worth sitting there for 3 hours without anybody really coming, was getting to see my friend, who's a relatively new friend, perform and do a really good job. I mean, and not just the poem itself was good, the way that he performs is good. Like, he knows how to make, like, meaningful eye contact with the audience, and it was just, and I appreciate slam poetry in general, mostly because I can't fucking do it. I can't recite it properly. There's a cadence that goes with it, and I can't do that. And I certainly can't write it, because it's really clever and really sharp and really witty, and in a way that either comes naturally to you or it doesn't, and it doesn't for me. So anyways, that was super awesome. And the other thing that I wanted to tell you about was Tao, Thao, and the Get Down, Stay Down. They are my new favorite band. You need to go download them immediately, or go listen to them on their website, which is taomusic.com. It's this little tiny, like, some sort of Pacific Islander, like Filipino or something, girl, and she's so cute. She's so, like, pinch your cheeks, adorable. And there's a song on, I can't remember the name of the album now. It is Know Better Learn Faster is the name of the album. And I like the title track, which is Know Better Learn Faster. That was the first song that I heard off of that album, and I was like, oh, I love that song. But then I started listening to it more, and the song When We Swam is my new favorite jam. Like, that, it's a little bit more upbeat, and the refrain is oh, bring your hips to me. And the way it's so good. It's so good. Like, I literally have just had it on a loop for like 3 days, and I just, oh, bring your hips. It's So good. So good. You have to listen to it. I'm running out of time. Heart you. I've just spitballed for the last 15 minutes, but I missed you and I wanted to make sure that I got this out before I was gone all weekend because it's a busy weekend. Love, love, love. Talk to you later.